everybody, well today's guest is quite the rebel, starting more fights than needed peace. I'm just playing. He's done some pretty great things. The ever so famous leader of the Métis Uprising, the Riel Rebellions, Louis Riel.
Thanks for having me on your show, Penny. Jokes these days. I'm feeling so out of my time.
The rebellions you have led have definitely had an impact towards the Métis people of today. I mean, even they have their own titles now.
So I've heard. This all feels so unreal. The Red River Rebellion and Northwest Rebellion, right?
Yes, so why did the Red River Rebellion start in the first place?
Well, Penny, as you know, Canadian Confederation occurred on July 1st, 1867. And soon after that, to be more precise, around mid-May, in 1869, we, the Métis, noticed strange men observing the land, and not aware of our presence, we, as you can imagine, were thrown off by that. Thomas Scott and others were against us living there, marched into the settlement and demanded that we leave. Their arrival caused them to be thrown into jail.
Oh, I see. That does sound pretty upsetting, considering it's such a major event and many people sounded bothered by the issue. Did the Prime Minister at the time have any concerns or input?
Well, Mr. MacDonald didn't really seem to be concerned at the beginning. He didn't address the matter until it really got out of hand.
Ooh, things are getting pretty heated. What do you mean out of hand, Mr. Riel? Like some WWE stuff going on?
What's WWE? But whatever. Okay, so on November 19th, 1869, the Hudson's Bay Company decided to sell Rupert's Land to Canada for $1.5 million, with no consideration for the people who live there. They did this so they could expand west and use the rich natural resources. Western expansion was very important for Mr. MacDonald. He immediately appointed William McDougall as lieutenant governor. Mr. McDougall sent 1,000 troops to take down the Red River settlement. When they arrived, we instantly turned them back. We feared that our land would be organized into lots and sold to settlers, destroying the Métis' way of life. Soon after we seized Fort Garry, Mr. McDougall traveled to Fort Garry on November 28th, 1869, to discuss a new government with us. We forbade him, and we forced Mr. McDougall to turn back. Honestly, I did think that man could take a hit.
Dang! He is one stubborn man. What happened next?
Well, there was this man amongst one of our many Canadian prisoners, Thomas Scott. You remember him, right? He somehow managed to escape, and he discussed counter-rebellion with some Scottish settlers. Crazy guy. He was soon executed, mostly because he called us cowards and said that we would not dare to shoot him, so we shot him.
Whoa, you do not mess around. Well, here's a question we're dying to know. How did this all end?
To make it short and simple, the Manitoba Act ended it all on May 12, 1870. The Manitoba Act marked the area of the Red River settlement as a province. It was created after we voiced their opinion after losing our rights. This province was a little different from the others. Instead of having a strong provincial government, it was controlled by Ottawa.
To make it clear to all of you who do not know, the Manitoba Act allowed the area to enter Confederation as a province of Manitoba. It also gave the Métis land and secured their rights as French-speaking Canadians. Anyway, Mr. Riel, whoa, that was some intense battle. A lot of good for Canada came out of the Red River Rebellion, eh? But I guess there couldn't be one rebellion now, could there, Louis?
Definitely, Penny.
Well, everyone, we have time for Louis over here to give us the insider scoop on his next rebellion. The uprising was short, but its legacy continues today.
I know what you're talking about. The Northwest Rebellion of 1885.
You hit the target, Louis. Why did you decide to start another uprising?
To be honest, Penny, it wasn't as successful as the Red River Rebellion. It was a rebellion that the Métis of Saskatchewan and I enforced against Canada. We felt that the country had failed to address the protection of our lands, rights, and the survival of our people, It started in the spring and lasted for 3 months, through 1884 to the new year of 1885.
Only 3 months? A lot must have happened in those 3 months. Care to share what happened?
Oh, well, I made a living in Batouche, Saskatchewan. It was nice, a pretty comfortable lifestyle, I lived around some kind Métis like myself in Batouche. And a month in, I recall, I was asked to help the petition against Ottawa for the many grievances they faced at the time, which I did mention earlier, remember? They felt strongly of this, and by December of 1884, the government acknowledged our petition. Yeah.
Haha, well, looks like the audience got your back. What happened afterwards?
Things were going at a fast pace. A battle had already begun. It was on March 26, 1885 at Duck Lake. I'm pretty sure you all know it now as the Battle of Duck Lake. It was after I instituted a provisional government at Batouche on March 18 to 19. This pretty much settled the confrontation with the federal forces of Canada. We knew we needed to prepare, so we raided goods stores at Duck Lake for foods, provisions, and weapons. While we were at it, we took control of the town.
Well, from this story, I know the Northwest Mounted Police were involved. Did they?
Yeah. The Superintendent Lee F. Cozier got word of our action plan and stationed at a nearby location called Fort Carlton. He led a force of 100 men to meet us rebel forces at Duck Lake. Gabriel Dumont and I were allies in all of this and led our troops. I know we're running short on time, so I'll just summarize the entire affair. The Northwest Mounted Police lost only 17 men, and we'd only lost 5. Though one of the men we lost were Dumont's brother. He was furious and wanted to continue chasing down the Northwest Mounted Police. I stopped him though, but the Northwest Mounted Police had fled. So I guess since we only lost 5 men, we did claim victory on this whole affair. Oh, but don't be fooled, everyone. We planned to capture Cozier and his men as hostages so that we had a chance at forcing the government's hand. We missed out on that chance though, so technically the battle we won became a loss.
Go. I understand there were many other small battles that came after this one. The Battle of Batoche, the Battle of Cut Knife, the Battle of Fish Creek, the Battle of Fort Creek, Battle of Fort Pitt, the Battle of Frenchman's Butte, the Frog Lake Massacre, the Battle of Wound Lake. Phew, try saying that 5 times fast.
Go.
But unfortunately, we only have time for one more story, Louis. What happened in the last battle? What did this whole rebellion conclude for Canada and our history?
The last battle, well, that was the Battle of Loon Lake. It concluded the Northwest Rebellion on June 3rd, 1885. It was fought on the District of Saskatchewan of the Northwest Territories. This time, we were at a definite loss, I would say. Yeah, we were definitely at loss. We did not win the battle. However, the overall tension we created actually had some good come out of it. The role the Canadian Pacific Railway played in transporting troops, political support had increased, the legislator authorized funds to complete the nation's first transcontinental railway. It really had done some good for Canada. Us Métis just did not get the self-government we'd wanted in the Northwest Territories, which is definitely unfortunate.
What happened to you and Gabriel? I'm sure they would have let you off scratch-free.
Well, Gabriel left to Montana and was brought to Regina to face the wrath of Judge Hugh Richardson. They thought I was completely mad. I was, unfortunately, found guilty on August 1st of 1885.
In my flashcards that you were then hanged on November 16 on the Mounted Police Barracks in Regina?
Yes, that's actually definitely true.
Well, that concludes our show. Tune in next Thursday when I interview Mr. Kanye West.